Hari Om. Bhaj Govindam chanting verses 1 to 5.
भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति दुःकृन्करणे मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णां गुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निजकर्मोपातं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम् नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागामोहावेशम् एतन्मांसवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारम् नलिनीदलगतजलमतितरलं दद्वज्जीवितमतिशयचपलम् विद्धि व्याध्यभिमानग्रस्तं लोकं शोकहतं च समस्तम् यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। This text Bhaj Govindam is referred as Moha Mudghara. Moha means delusion. Mudghara means hammer. Hammer on delusion. That's what the text is known as. But it has become popular from that first word, Bhaja Govindam. So that's how it has gained its name. But the text name is referred as Moha Mudghara. Or this Manjarika Stotra, another name with which it is being referred to is Manjarika Stotra. So there are two names through which this text is known. Now what is this Moha Mudghara, sir? Moha Mudghara means hammer on delusion. Now what is delusion we have to see first. It's like, imagine, you are pegging a nail on the wall. You got to keep hammering. See, so we have this Bhaj Govindam has got 31 strokes. Assumption is, by the time the 31 strokes been hit, it would have penetrated through your delusion. That's the assumption here. This 31 verses is enough for you to penetrate. However thick the wall of your delusion can be, is the hammer is so powerful, so strong, it will pierce through, it will break it. So it's a hammering, goes on hammering. It takes a particular point and goes on hammering. That's how you break. The rock, if you have to break, take a chisel and peg it to a particular point and go on hammering on that same point again and again and again. That's how we get this. That's how this idea of delusion is dealt. That's why this text is known as Moha Mudgara, because he is hammering on that same again and again and again, to a point where you will get really tired. The delusion will get tired. But the text is so beautiful. That's why the another way of looking at this Manjarika Stotra we call. Another way of reading that same text. One is hammer, another one is flower. Now imagine a hammer made of flour. How will it be? Right. Now we think hammer means, immediately you think hammer means only it has to be iron. Go on striking you so hard like. No, this is not that sort of a hammer. This is a different type of a hammer. What is it, sir? This is made up of flowers. It's a bouquet of flowers. So Shankara has designed it so beautiful, wherein he says, I will try to break, penetrate, pierce through your hammer, crack your hammer. How? Through flowers. That's why it has two names, very contrasting name. One side it is known as hammer, other side it is known as flowers. This has 31 mantras, 31 shlokas are there in this, which is divided into 4 different topics. For convenience of those who are, for us, we divide the text into different topics. The first verse is referred as chorus, the first one, which is supposed to be chanted after every verse, right? So it comes as a verse chanted along with every verse, in fact. So that's the first verse. Then from verse 2 to 13, those 12 verses, referred as Dwadasha Manjarika Stotra, as the 12 verses supposed to have been given out by Shankara. His message, Shankara's teaching. Then from 14 to 27, that 14 verses were given out by the 14 disciples who were following Shankara at that time. Each disciple gave out one reply. So Shankara gave that message. The context I will just come back, there. Just hold on. Okay, what is the context in which the verses we've been given? Now, this 14 disciples replied to the master stating that, yes, we have got your message. That is the next one. That's the next group of 14 verses. This is the next one. Chaturdasha Manjarika Stotra, referred as. So first one is 12. Two bouquet of flowers. One is made up of 14. One is made up of 12. These two is the way it is referred to. The 14 disciples gave out, replied to the message given by Shankara, affirming to the master that, yes, we have got your message. And the disciples have replied to the master, and Shankara is satisfied with their reply and gives his blessings to the students. The disciples were blessed by Shankara. That blessings is the last 4 verses, 28, 27 to 30, 28 to 31. The 4 verses, the last 4 verses were the blessings given by Shankara, summing up the entire material of Bhaja Govinda. So the first 4 were this, the chorus, the idea. What is that? And what is the material there? What is the idea? The general focus is given. Examine your life first, he says. And then he tells how to examine, where to examine. That's the 12 verses. And then the disciples rejoinder, concluding with Shankara's blessings. He is so happy looking at the reply given by the disciples. And we will see that. When we go there, we will see how each disciple is presenting the idea given by Shankara, and how each one provides it is fascinating. You know, a superb set of disciples Shankara had. And now coming to this context of the verse, which I did mention, I'll explain the context. The context is Shankara was in Kashi, in Benares. He was staying in Benares, doing his commentary works. He is writing his commentary. After he has taken that sannyas, he goes to his guru near Narmada river, in that Omkareshwara, this place. Is a place where he meets his guru. That's what we saw last week, last class. Last class we did see that, the crocodile caught hold of Shankara's feet, and Shankara took, Abhat Sannyasa, and then he takes permission, blessings from his mother, goes in search of his guru. When he goes in search of his guru, he finds his guru near this Narmada river banks. This Omkareshwar is the place. So there he studied under the guru for 3 years. Under Govinda Bhagavad Pada studied. Who is that Govinda Bhagavad Pada? Is a disciple of Gaudapada. Gaudapada is the one who taught. Now that's a fantastic story. How Govinda Bhagavad Pada met Gaudapada, who is that Gaudapada, is a fascinating one, which we will see somewhere else. I don't want to go into that, story again. I did mention to you. Throughout this class, we'll try to see here and there certain, instances, certain, history of the events that had happened. This is a fascinating one. Very, very interesting one. This Gaudapada is the disciple of Sukha Brahma, who is the son of Vyasa. So that's how the lineage goes. So Shankara Bhagavad Pada we say. Then his guru is Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Govinda Bhagavad Pada's guru is Gaudapada. So Gaudapada, Govinda Bhagavad Pada, Shankara. So after this education under Govinda Bhagavad Pada, Govinda Bhagavad Pada directs Shankara now to write a commentary on Brahma Sutra. He said, first you write a commentary for this Brahma Sutra, Bhashya. Write a Bhashya for Brahma Sutra. So Shankara comes to this Kashi. He is staying in Kashi and he is writing his commentary on Brahma Sutra. Along with that, he writes the commentary for 10 Upanishads also. And he writes a commentary for Bhagavad Gita. And he writes a commentary for Vishnu Sahasranama, Sanat Sujatiyam. There are so many bhashyas, commentaries of Shankara. These are all the commentaries of Shankara. And then he himself gives out certain introductory texts. Prakarana Granthas also he writes, that comes later. Before that, first his commentary was completed with Brahma Sutra Bhashya. And Shankara's Bhashya is very, very popular. Brahma Sutra Bhashya of Shankara is very popular one. And then when he was there, he is teaching to people also. People are getting to know that there is a Shankara who is teaching and all that. Slowly students started joining him. Disciples have started joining. So like that, he has been staying there and he has that everyday ritual is there for him to go to different places of this Ganges, take bath and come back. So they go to different places, different ghats are there, So like that, one day he is going to this Manikarnika Ghat, it seems. So he goes there, he takes bath, he finishes his morning rituals and all those things, whatever they are supposed to do, finishes all that. And along with disciples, he is coming back. On his way back, he hears a person sitting the corner of his house and trying to memorize the Panini's Sutra, grammar. Grammar Sutra has been chanted and practiced, memorized by old man. Old fellow is sitting there and trying to memorize grammar, staying learning that. Shankara sees that. When he sees that, Shankara feels so uncomfortable. He takes pity on that man and gives out, why are you wasting your time on grammar rules now? You have to start thinking of something higher. Don't get involved with this grammar rules and all that. Seek something higher. And that's how the first shloka came into picture. In that inspiring moment, when he saw that pity, that compassion took over Shankara, and he gives out this message. That is this Bhajagovindam. That's the first verse, which is the chorus we see. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhaja Moolamate. Samprarte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshanti dukrankarane. This dukrankarane is the Panini Sutra. That is, this grammar rule he is trying to memorize that particular sutra. Dukrankarane, 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 he is going on memorizing, he says. He hears that, he says, this sutras is not going to help you, man. It's a waste of time. Don't waste your time anymore on these things. And then he gives the message. So this old, now you got to visualize this old man sitting, but in this, when you are saying this, please remember, there is no factuality about it. So don't think that actually it happened. It's not that. It's just, a moment. So just to dramatize it, they have given. None of this, in this Shankara Vijayam texts, we have this reference of this old grammarian sitting and practicing and all that. Since this Dukrankarane is coming, we are assuming he must be referring to somebody. And why we say old? Because straight away Shankara says, at the time of death, this is not going to help you. So this we will not be talking to a boy who is 14-year-old. Right. So it doesn't go well. So from the text we have assumed something like this. So it's not that, actually where Shankara was walking and these people, it's not like that. From the text we are inferring this must have happened. That's about it. Now, as he was speaking to him, remember the teacher, whenever they speak to somebody, always there is in the back of their mind, they remember their disciples, his students. So more than educating the old man, the real material of Bhajagovindam is for whom? Not for those fellows. It is meant for these guys who are standing behind. It is exactly like you give, lashes. It's a lash on that old man, but always there is a backlash. So the backlash is for the disciple who are standing behind Shankara gets the backlash. Now we get the backlash. Usually the backlash is more stronger. If that side is stronger, this side also will be stronger. See, so we get that, pain. So we have to go through the strain of that Shankara's problem. So his problem is what? Not the old man. His responsibility is for these 14 boys who are following him. So he gives the message to these people subsequently. But the first verse could have been inspired looking at that also. He might not be addressing that man, but that scene could have given, and it gives a fantastic setup. So from the setup, we are assuming that this is the situation now. The situation is there is a old man and all this, but there is no Shankara Vijayams. We have a proof for it. Okay. Now, coming to the text, he said one side we said the text is this, other side we said the text is flowers, hammering. And when you see, when you go there, we will see it. Most of you might have heard, this Bhaja Govindam was made very, very popular thanks to M.S. Subbulakshmi. You see, whenever we do the text, we can't forget her. Her rendering. Of course, she did not do the entire Bhaja Govindam. She just selected, few. I don't know who selected and gave it to her and all that. I don't know about all that. But it's a selected about few verses. She has, rendered that. A beautiful, chanting or singing. Rather than chanting, it is more of a singing. Because it's a song. It is supposed to be sung. So if you want to go to YouTube, you will find there. You can just log in and say that, M.S. Subbulakshmi Bhaja Govindam. You hear that. Only then you can understand what I'm speaking now. Don't listen to our chanting. That may not give you the real feel of it. Okay. Now listen to M.S. Subbulakshmi and then come back. Right. Because this is not, at least if you hear the chanting live, you can appreciate it. Now this way, what we are presenting to you before the class, is not going to be really, I don't know to what extent you are getting inspired. But M.S. Subbulakshmi will definitely inspire you. So go to YouTube, figure it out. Now, coming to this verses, we say it's a bouquet of flowers. See, when we say flowers, there are 3 levels in which we can appreciate a flower. 3 ways you can enjoy the flower. The first level of enjoyment of a flower is through the sight. You see it, it's so beautiful. Particularly when you have a bouquet of flowers, different colors and different things and all that they keep. It's an art by itself, how they make it. Superb they prepare, different flowers and all that to keep. They give. Where from a distance you look at it, it is so pleasant. It is so nice to see. To a flower, when you go closer, when you go near the flower, little closer when you go, you get to enjoy the fragrance of it. The fragrance of the flower, you enjoy. From a distance, you can't get the fragrance. About 500 feet away from when you see, you can't get. But you can enjoy this sight. From a distance, you can enjoy the sight. When you go a little closer, you can enjoy the fragrance. So 2 things comes into picture. 1, your eyes. 2, your nose. Both you enjoy when you go closer. When you go deeper into that flower, which is what the bees do, the bee, what they do is they go deep into the flower and take that drop of honey. It enjoys the drop of honey from there. Right. So there are 3 levels or 3 ways in which you can enjoy flower. The first one, the sight, what is it there? The chanting of Bhaja Govindam itself is so beautiful. That you can enjoy when you listen to M.S. Subbulakshmi. You can enjoy it, And those who don't know the meaning also will enjoy it. So melodious. The sheer melody is so captivating. Like the color is so attractive in flowers, Same way, the melody is so attractive in the text. Bhaja Govindam. 1. 2. When you go little closer to it, you get the fragrance. The fragrance is, it gives a practical instructions to life. How you can live your life. How you can deal with your day-to-day problems of life. So practical. So down to earth, he gives the material. What you should do with reference to this, what you should do with reference to that, what you should do. For every problem that you can think of in life, there is a practical solution given in this text, Bhaj Govinda. Every problem, directly. It's not that you have to infer, you have to deduct, you have to do, no, that's not there. Directly he gives. And the tragedy is today we have to conduct a class for that. That is the tragedy. That shows, our deterioration. Right? But as far as the text is concerned, he gives very, very direct. There is no problem at all for him. Straight instructions he gives. And then, if you take a form of a bee and enter into that flower, if you penetrate further into the text, Bhaj Govindam, you get the drop of honey. What is it, sir? That eternal philosophy of Advaita. Chaste philosophy you can extract. So, you can touch the text Bhaj Govindam in 3 layers. You can touch it only as musical beauty. And you listen to it, you will appreciate. Even a buffalo will appreciate. Forget about human being. You play Bhaj Govindam and see, buffalo which is moving will stop. So melodious the text is. You can listen to it, and I knew lot of people who know that song, Bhaj Govindam. They would have heard. But we don't understand what it is. In a way, good. If you know what he is saying, most of you will get scared. See? So we will run away from the text. But he gives such practical instructions about life and how to get out of your samsaric involvements. Beautiful way he explains. Third, if you go deeper, you will get the philosophy of Advaita, the chaste philosophy, the essence, true Vedanta will be given to you. So all 3 layers. So 31 verses we have, and the text has been referred as uplifter of delusion or hammerer of delusion. How? Now we come to the idea of what is this hammer and what is this delusion. Now first we have to understand what do you mean by delusion. See, delusion means a lack of clarity in terms of what I am doing, anticipating what I should get out of it. Am I getting out? Anticipating something, I am doing something. Am I getting what I am anticipating? If there is a confusion, that confusion is called delusion. I keep driving, thinking that I am going towards Chennai. Right? I'm assuming that I am from Bangalore, I start driving. Assuming that I am going towards Chennai, I keep driving. And I keep driving at 140 kilometer speed. So fast I go, so fast I go, so fast I go, so fast I go. After driving about 4 hours, where are you, sir? Who believe a fellow says? Right. Now, you started driving to go to Chennai. You have been driving. Suddenly I ask you, where are you? You say, I am in Hubli means what? There is no connection between what is the idea with which you have started and you are driving. And that interesting part is, you are nowhere in the signboard on the highways you are seeing towards Chennai. Right through you are seeing only what? Dharwad is coming, this one is coming, that one is coming, Pune is coming, Bombay coming, Nagpur is coming, all that is coming. But nowhere you are seeing the signboard of Chennai. Somewhere down the line, you have to stop, isn't it? Hey, how is it possible that I've been driving from Bangalore? I've been driving for the last 17 hours. I've been driving, and nowhere I am seeing the signboard also. Forget about reaching Chennai. Because when I started from Bangalore, they told me how long it will take you to reach to Chennai. They said about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours you will reach Chennai, is what they said. I've already crossed about 17 hours. No signboard also of Chennai. Forget about Chennai city coming in. Signboard also I'm not seeing. You don't even think like that and you keep driving. If you see, that is called delusion. You see, somewhere down the line, what you should do? Stop and inquire. With what I started, am I getting what I am? This non-inquiry, this assumption, this ignorance is referred as delusion, moha. You don't even recognize that. If this is what I am doing, this is where I should reach. If I have to reach there, I have to take this route. So either you have to understand either from destination or route. Either through cause, you have to analyze the effect, or you should analyze, if I want that effect, I have to do this cause. Isn't it? If I want mangoes, I have to plant what? Mango seed. I cannot be planting bamboo and expect a mango tree out of it. You see that? This ignorance is referred as delusion. Assuming what? Taking the bamboo seeds to be mango seed. Expecting a mango tree out of a bamboo shoot. That's called ignorance. That is called delusion. Or you have to understand what? This cause will produce that effect. If I do this, that is what I will get. Either you should move from means to an end, or you want that end, this is the means then. There has to be a matching of between the sadhana sadhya relationship, cause and effect relationship. Don't worry about the Sanskrit word, okay? If I want that, then I have to do this. Or if I do this, I get only that. This cause will produce that effect. Or when I want that effect, I have to cause this cause. That differences, that clarity. When you are lacking, that is referred as delusion. This Bhajagovindam exposes that, explains that so beautifully. Clears off, if this is the end that you want in life, then this is the means. This is the direction. This is the path. This is the method. This is the effort you got to put in to get that. Don't assume that I put this, but I should get that. You cannot go into engineering college, come out as a doctor. That is not possible. You go to medical college, you come out as a doctor. You go to engineering college, you come out as an engineer. If you want to become a doctor, don't go to engineering college. You can't study engineering and become a doctor. That is not possible. See, that is clarity. Not knowing that, assuming that I want to become a doctor, but I will go through engineering college only. Why? Because I got admission only in engineering college. I got admission here, therefore I go through it, but the certificate I should get is what? Certificate should be this. That way it doesn't work. That missing that link is referred as delusion. Confusion over these two aspects. One dimension is the means, another dimension is the end. This is the idea of delusion in this context. Now remember, delusion we will analyze from different angles. Okay. In this context, we analyze delusion in this way, right? So that it becomes easier for us to understand the text. Now there is another way of understanding also delusion, right? Another way of understanding delusion is assuming expertise in a field where I have never worked. That is also referred as delusion only. Like, lot of people will give advice, particularly about medicines, they'll give advice. Ask him, are you a doctor? Like few years back, a couple of years back, before that lecture series in Bangalore, I had sore throat. Something I must have, I don't know what happened. I had a sore throat. That's all. In that lecture hall, I'm standing there and just, I couldn't talk to people. So speaking so low, and people could, so visible to everyone, there is something wrong with my throat. And they're asking me, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And all that. I said, tired and, been talking too much, maybe, shouting all the time, so sore throat, is this. You got to believe me that one evening I heard from people minimum about 15 recipes I have got. What I should do for sore throat, for cold. This one fellow, another. And then one lady standing overhearing this instruction given by another lady, she called me, sir, don't do that. It will not, do good to your throat. In fact, it will worsen the problem because of this reasons. I asked her, what are you? What do you do? She said, yeah, I'm working in school. She said, you're a school teacher, do that. You teach history. No, teach history. That's all. What do you know about all this? Simply give advice. Left, right, center, we keep advising people. Why? That is called delusion. Where, see, there may be conflicting opinions given by two doctors, two scientists. Now, two electricians you call to check in your house, wiring. No two electricians will agree that the wiring done in your house is very good. Nobody will agree. You see, that is not what I'm talking about. One scientist will not agree with another scientist. That is professional, and that's a different dimension. That's not what I'm saying. Here the problem is you don't know anything about science. You have no idea. You have no clue about what that field is. You have never worked on that field. You have never worked in the sense you have never attempted, strived to understand that field. Working in the field in the sense you have never studied that field. You have never attempted to learn something. Or your attempt is so random and so superficial. So superficial, you come to conclusions based on that sort of an understanding is called delusion. Now, we ask this question, all living life, what is the understanding you have about life? But all of us give advice, no, to others. Everybody gives advice to us how they should do life, how they should live their life, how they should. Do you know how to live your life? Immediately it's that don't ask. Okay. That you should not ask. A lot of marriage counselors are divorced. I said, then what sort of marriage counseling you do? This is what, hey, don't ask me about all that. That is different, this is different. My life is different, my advice is different. That's where there's a gap. That gap creation is called delusion. More and more of this, assuming certain things where you have never worked. Invariably, what happens in life is, minimum you work, maximum will be your belief that you have understood. This is the tragedy of life. You see, the real tragedy of life is this. Minimum you know, the tragedy is maximum you will believe. That is called delusion. And Shankara says about life, he poses certain facts of life in front of you. Start shivering. A lot of people get annoyed. They said, Ishwaran, why Bhajagovindam is so pessimistic? We thought philosophy should be giving, motivating people. No, it is absolutely demotivating. It is so scary. This Bhajagovindam, Shankara is looking very, very pessimistic in life. Very cynical about life. Why it appears all those things is because we are refusing to register the facts of life. You don't see the facts. In fact, you don't want to see the facts. You see, because the facts come and strike you so hard. And you want to live in your delusive belief of certain things. But the reality is not going to be listening to your delusive beliefs. You see, that is how the hammering happens here. Moha Mudgara, yes, hammering on truth. Now, what does this Bhajagovindam study will produce? Okay, Ishwaran, this is what the context of it, what is the text, and what is the structure of the text, and this is what all that we have said. Okay, now everybody will ask this one question. If I attend this Bhajagovindam class, what will happen to me? My honest answer is nothing will happen. Right. All 92 will disappear now. Then why we are wasting time, man? Cancel. Everybody leaves. No, don't think so, please. There is a tremendous power the text has. But only thing is, you must have the capacity to stay with it. You stay with this text, your life will get transformed. After that, your life will never be the same. If you understand the text, you stay with it. That's all. Just listen. That's enough for this text. First thing it does is, it gives you an understanding of how transient this life is, how fleeting the things are, in every aspect of life. One, how you are so confused between the pursuits of life, your ignorance in terms of the pursuit of life. And what is that you are pursuing? Bhajagovindam says there are two things that you are pursuing in life. One is referred as Kanchana, means gold. Two, Kamini, means women. Literal meaning. Only two things you are pursuing, Kanchana and Kamini. Kanchana means gold. Kamini means woman. Now, what is this signify, sir? Gold, don't take it literally as gold. Okay. Gold is a representation. Gold represents what? Wealth. Acquisition. Right. So first thing, you say gold. Gold means what, sir? Gold means wealth. Wealth means acquisition. All that you acquire, your desire to acquire, your necessity, your need, your want, your craving, your thirst for acquiring something from the world. The best representative of that is gold. That's all. Now, what is that we will see when we go there? Now, what is the text giving here, sir? It gives you a clarity in terms of the pursuit of these two things, Kanchana and Kamini. Kanchana, gold. Gold means wealth. Wealth is equal to acquisition. So, gold, wealth, acquisition. Same way here. Next one we have is Kamini. Kamini means women. Women means enjoyment. So, two things that you pursue in life. What is that you are pursuing? One, you are pursuing acquisition. Two, you are pursuing enjoyment. Represented by gold, women. That's it. But your pursuit is not gold or women. The pursuit is, they are only representative. It's only a reference. It's only a reminder. And it's a very easy one to understand. That's all. And it comes very nice also. Kanchana, Kamini comes nice. Rhyming. Therefore, we use that. That's all. But essentially what you are doing, sir, only two things you are doing. You want to acquire wealth and you want to enjoy. So you acquire wealth, you acquire things from the world and you enjoy it. Like you acquire a car only to enjoy the drive. Isn't it? You acquire a plasma TV. Why do you acquire a plasma TV? Home theater. Why do you acquire a home theater? Enjoyment. What is it, sir? Acquire, enjoy. Acquire, enjoy. Acquire, enjoy. Acquire, enjoy. Right through your life, you are occupied only with what? These two things. Acquire, enjoy. You want to acquire something and you want to enjoy. See, that acquiring can be anything. Can be tangible, can be intangible also. I want to acquire fame. Intangible. I want to acquire respect. Intangible. That's not tangible. Remember. I want to acquire attention. I want to get attention from you. What is it, sir? That is acquisition only. I acquire that attention from you and I enjoy that attention. So, all that we are doing in life is two things. Tangible acquisition, intangible acquisition. But nevertheless, acquisition. What are you doing, sir? You are acquiring. Of all that, easiest one to understand, the most powerful one, very, very easy and common to everybody is wealth. For example, fame is not everybody's, priority. See, how many of you are thinking in terms of you want to become famous? If you become famous, you will enjoy. That's a different thing. But are you working on that? Huh? We say what? No. I'm working on only what? I wanted to get this. Same way, how many of us are working with reference to getting a name? Right? Respect. When I walk in, people should respect my words. The moment I say something, people should just listen to whatever I'm saying. That's it. That respect time. Now, But are you working on it? Are you striving? Are you thinking of that day in and day out? No. Whereas with reference to wealth, everybody works on that. Nobody is going to say that I am not working on. That is why we take that as an example. Even though there are other things also, more powerful, more subtler things are there, right? I have a attention. I want attention from people. I want to get that. That is more powerful than gold. But still, why we don't take that as an example, sir? Because that is not common for everybody. What is common to everyone, sir? Any example we should take which is common to everybody. Examples cannot be taken which is particular to a case. Common only can be taken as example. Therefore, we took wealth, gold, as example to represent your weakness for acquisition. 1. 2. Are you satisfied with acquisition, sir? No. You are not satisfied with acquisition. You want to enjoy whatever you have acquired. Assumption is what? If I acquire, I know how to enjoy. See, that's the assumption, isn't it? Assumption of all of us is what? Sir, all of you go through this study of financial consultants, MBA finance. In MBA finance, what do you study? How many years you have been studying? How many years you have been working on the name of education? With all that, what do you do? You earn. To earn that money, how many years of education you spend? You spend for about 20 years. Okay. From 5 we start for standard, and then by the time you complete and come out of all your education, 25. So 20 years you spend to learn how to acquire that money, wealth, right? Earn that. How much time you have invested to learn how to spend? Anybody? Maximum you would have learned is what? How to invest. I'm not talking about investment. Okay. How to park. Assumption is what? Sir, if I have wealth, I know all that. All the other aspects with reference to money, I know. Only thing I don't know is what? Only problem is what? I don't have it. If I have that money, then everything is automatic. That belief is called delusion. You see that? For all your life problem, solution is arrived at with what, sir? Acquiring something. All that I have to do is just acquire it. After that, everything is going to be settled. What is the training that you have got for the other aspects of life? Zero. Now imagine, to earn itself you have to do so much of effort, means actually you are not interested in earning. Actual interest is where, sir? In spending. Isn't it? Imagine Bill Gates were to call and say, I am giving my credit card free to you. Use how much ever you want. After that, will you study? After that, will you go to office? Impossible. Anything you want, you can take from there. Finished. You don't have to. You will not do anything after that. Straight away, you will start jumping into what, sir? Spending. This is what we do. questions were given to you, a questionnaire is given. I did that with, in an organization, which is supposed to be, all, top fellows, brilliant guys. Each one can single-handedly can sign about 5 crores. That is this, stature of those fellows. It's a small group of people only. They came for that session, not the whole group. Only that particular, top fellows only, about 7 or 8 of them. As I said, we have to think a lot and we have to do this, that, and all. I said, okay, first thing what I want to all do is, I gave one questionnaire to them. I gave a questionnaire. I said, answer these questions. Before I come in, answer these questions and be ready with answers. And they all took questionnaire and they had the questionnaire, asked them to fill that and keep it with them. As soon as I entered the class, asked them, all of you have finished it. They all of them, very good there. They said, yes, we have finished. I took all that from them and took all that and searched for a dustbin and threw there. I dropped it there. I said, why are you doing this? They said, my point is not that. Answer me for what I'm asking you now. How many of you, before attempting to answer the question, rephrased the question and then answered it? Or did you just went on to answer it? You see a question. When you see the question, what are you supposed to do first? There are 2 ways. One is you try to penetrate the question and understand the question. Second one is to go to answer. What is answer? A, B, C. Is A correct or B correct or C correct? I said, thinking ability is what? Thinking means what? First step has to be done first. What is the first thing, sir? Did you understand the question? How will you know that you have understood the question? Only by attempting to rephrase the question, attempting to question the question. How many of us have ever done that in life? Because the entire training given to all of us is what? From school to university to college, whole training is what? Question asked, answer given. Question asked, answer given, straight away. You have never got the training of questioning that question. Have you ever questioned it? That and all don't ask. These things is not our job. Our job is what? Is to give answers. Move further straight away. Now that assumption is what the problem in life is. That assumption is what is referred as delusion. All that is what? I should have sufficient money in my bank account. If I have that much, then everything can be sorted out automatic. After that, I know what to do. Only problem is what? Only this I don't know what to do. Only problem is what, sir? I am not famous. That's all. Once I become famous, I know what to do afterward. Once I have enough money, I know what to do. Once I have enough reputation, I know what to do. Once I have enough name, I know what to do. Once I have enough attention, I know what to do. On what basis? That and all don't ask. That is called delusion. This is called acquisition. You are acquiring without even understanding what you are acquiring. 1. 2. Is your acquisition got anything to do with your enjoyment? Have you ever thought of that? Third, in the school tournament, inter-school competition tournament, a boy is hitting a 6 What is inter-school competition? Small one. You see, in the World Cup, a batsman is hitting a 6. In a World Cup, hitting a 6, how the batsman feels vis-a-vis the school student hitting a 6 in the school tournament. In terms of size, which is bigger? The school tournament bigger or World Cup bigger? All of us will say what? Hey, World Cup is definitely bigger. If you say that is bigger, then how big it would be proportionally? Let's assume this is 10 units you give for this. For that, how much units you can give? You can give 70 units in terms of size. School tournament, World Cup. This is 10 units, this is 75 units. Winning this, I should be getting 10 units of joy. Winning there, I should be getting 75 units of joy. Are they feeling? You'll be surprised. The joy of this boy who is hitting a 6 is the same joy, same intensity, same pleasure only that fellow also will get. He hits a century here and punches the air. He gets a wicket, punches. That punch is the same punch when he goes and plays at the international level also. No difference. My question is, if there is no difference, why are you struggling so much to experience to go and play in international? But the feel is same. Okay, you may not be able to understand the joy of it. Sorrow, you see, the fellow who gets out in school match and the fellow gets out in international match. How they walk out? Both of them walk out with the same disappointment and same dejection. How is that? There is a difference. But still, we don't know what is the difference. Is it because of the size? From where it is coming? This ignorance with reference to how to enjoy. Is my acquisition got anything to do with enjoyment? Is acquisition is equal to enjoyment? Does acquisition itself will give me powers to enjoy? If I have to enjoy, what is the necessary requirement? What is enjoyment? This is what Bhajagovindam is all about. Gives you a clarity on what is life. 1. 2. Once you get that clarity, what you get out of it, sir? Immediately, what comes out of that is Vairagya. If you say, I have got clarity about life, the test of your clarity of life is, what is your level of Vairagya? Means the disinterest in the world. How do you know that, sir? So how do you develop Vairagya, Bhajagovindam? If you want to develop Vairagya for your spiritual growth, which is a necessary one, how do you cultivate it, sir? The study of Bhajagovindam will give you that Vairagya. How does it give you that Vairagya, sir? By providing a clarity to your life, to your pursuit of acquisition and enjoyment. What is that you can achieve through acquisition? What is it that enjoyment can give? What your enjoyment cannot give? what your acquisition cannot give. This Kanchana will give something, it will not give something. Kamini will give something, it cannot give something. Now, what you are expecting is possible to be achieved through these two. When you examine, conclusion will be what? End of Bhajagovindam, you will come to that understanding. What is understanding? It can give this, acquisition can give this, but that's not what I want. Enjoyment can give this, but that's not what I want. I want something else. I want to go to Chennai. But these two can take me only to Bombay. Nothing wrong with Bombay. Not that nobody should go to Bombay. Do you want to travel to Bombay is the question. If you want to travel to Bombay, then go in that direction. Then Bhajagovindam will give you how to reach Bombay. Suppose if you say, no sir, my destination is Chennai, then it says what? This route will not give you, take a U-turn and go in the opposite direction. This is what Bhajagovindam does to you. That taking U-turn and moving away and going in the direction in which you want to get, what you want to get in life, that is called Vairagya. A lot of people think Vairagya, people get scared of this word, Vairagya, detachment, renunciation, these are all, people get so scared of that word itself. They think, it is like, I have a distaste. You understand what, sir? This acquisition and enjoyment cannot give what I am aspiring, what I am expecting. I believed that it is going to give me. That is why I pursued. Bhajagovindam hammers on that belief and destroys it. You will start seeing suddenly what? No, this is not taking me to what I can. That doesn't mean it doesn't give anything. Yes, of course it gives. Any road you travel, this is the beauty. Any highway you take and keep traveling for a period of time, you will go to a city. Is it not? No highway will go to no man's land. Every highway will merge in some city. The question is not that. The question is which city you want to go. Right? Now every human is aspiring to go to a particular place. That is what we want. That you cannot achieve through this. You leave this and move in the direction which will help you to reach your destination. Leaving this and moving in that direction. This is what Bhajagovindam does to you. It explains you are going in the wrong direction and it educates you on what you are actually expecting. 2, 3, it gives you the right direction also. It is not enough to tell you this is not the way to go to Chennai. It's not enough. We should give you the direction also. This is the way to go to Chennai. So it says where you want to go to is Chennai, not Bombay. This route can take you only to Bombay. Therefore, don't go in this direction. Go in this direction to go to Chennai, which is where you want to reach. This is all Bhajagovindam will do. What you are aspiring cannot be achieved through this acquisition and enjoyment. And this is what acquisition and enjoyment will give you. When we go there, we will see when we get into the verses. Okay. Now, what it gives is this. Then it tells you what you are actually aspiring is that bliss of Brahman. And how do you achieve that? This is the effect of the study of Bhajagovindam. What is the effect? Seen today is only about the text. Bhajagovindam, to hammer, flour. Flour, there are three aspects. Hammer on what, sir? Delusion. Delusion is your belief. What is a belief? Wrong understanding of acquisition and enjoyment with reference to the means and end. This is all we have seen today. Okay. More we'll see in the next class. Hari Om.